Hey folks, I am Andromeda, aka Spark, which means that Avon will be referring to me as Spark because that is what she has known me for all of time.
And I am Avon.
And today we watched the short Zima Blue from Love, Death, and Robots, Volume 1. This came out in 2019. It was directed by Robert Valley, and Robert Valley also did a short in Love, Death, and Robots Volume 2, which came out in 2021. And that one was called Ice, which I liked the aesthetics of it, but the story was lacking. Much prefer this one. Avon, what do you think, since you've seen both as well?
Oh, Ice is alright. It's pretty,
Mm-hmm.
but there isn't a lot to it. It could be a lot more, but I'm not gonna go into Ice because this is not a thing over Ice.
Yeah, but I just want to mention that it's also based on a
Yeah.
short story by Alistair Reynolds, which I don't think either of us have read.
No.
I would be interested in reading it possibly.
Yeah.
Also, blue is my favorite color, and the color of Zima Blue is like close to my favorite color. So I feel like that's probably
Oh,
also why I like this short so much. Is just because I find it so
okay.
aesthetically pleasing.
Or
Um,
for me, blue was always mine, but it was always more of a midnight blue.
hmm
I actually did not know blue was your favorite color.
yeah.
Also, I just looked into Alistair Reynolds, and he apparently does a bunch of different science fiction books. He's a British science fiction author.
Oh, okay,
I
that's
don't
interesting.
I, I don't know if the one this is based off of. No, I do know because on Wikipedia it said short story. So I bet you
hmm
one of these, if not all of them, are oh no, I'm being an idiot. There's one called Zima Blue and Other Stories. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a collection. It's from a collection of short stories. The first collection, so the collection came out in '06.
So let's get into the actual plot.
I said today Spark will be explaining it.
Yes. Today I will be explaining it. The title is the name of the sort of main character. The story is told through the perspective of a journalist who has been invited to interview the very famous, renowned artist Zima, who explains his past, his rise to fame, and then unveils his final work. I think part of one of the main reasons why I find this story so compelling is because it talks about the search for truth and the different paths that he goes down to search for truth.
Especially after this watch, what I found more was a an almost sense of the truth of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
of going through the cosmos and everything to try to find out who you are, and in the end what you were was something tiny. You were just a robot who cleaned a pool. That's all you were, and almost searching for truth. It's the way I look at enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
As you search and search for enlightenment, once you finally get it, it's only going to take away from you. It's not going to give you anything. Enlightenment doesn't give you anything, it takes away. And that's what I feel like this does with truth. It's like, oh, he figured out his truth, the truth that he's been searching for all of his life, and it's not in the cosmos, it's in a pool, and it strips you down to your core almost.
Yeah, and it's sort of calling back to returning to a simpler time because as you can tell by just the general aesthetics, this is like in the future, seemingly hundreds of years in the future.
Well, something interesting that he says that I didn't notice my first watch. He says it's been 100 years since I've talked to the press at all, and that makes me wonder: one, how long do people now on live that no one's batting an eye?
Mm-hmm.
Is it that no one's batted an eye because he's become part, well, not part, but almost all robot? Or do people just in general live for very long times? Because she's seen as seeing parts of his unveilings and stuff like that.
Yeah, it
You
seems
would,
like she's been following him from the beginning, and if that's the case, then it's been a while.
yeah. If that's the case, humans live for a very long time now too.
Well, it's shown that advanced cybernetics are kind of a regular thing because the stuff that he did was super, super out there. If you replace certain parts of the human body, it doesn't really take that much to keep you going. So I think it's definitely possible that people potentially live for hundreds and hundreds of years, if not longer, if they have the money for it, obviously, which that goes into, you know,
That goes into a whole nother
whole
thing
different
about
thing.
transhumanism.
Yeah. So I wrote down a few quotes that I just thought were really interesting.
I
Um,
really like his final speech.
yeah, so he talks about like the cosmos speaking its own truth. I found it interesting that along with the murals changing over time and the murals getting bigger and bigger and expanding in different ways,
Almost
his
feel like full
body
length.
his body modification also
Yeah,
expanded. So that way he could try to connect to the cosmos.
yeah, but almost merging with technology and well, okay, that's actually something interesting right there. A, how did he try to learn truth through technology, through adding on stuff
Well,
to
art
you?
and technology, if you think about it.
Well, yeah, yeah, and how did he finally figure it out through stripping it all down, through the strip down of most of these things, which is quite Buddhist actually.
Mhm.
The whole like minimalism, like very Zen Buddhism, minimalism, strip down a lot of this stuff, strip down your thought processes on like when you look at a book you instantly think what a book is and all that, strip
Mhm.
down that thought process of when you look at a book you just see a book,
Mhm.
or you just see a thing more of.
Well, and he only
um
left himself with the ability to appreciate his surroundings, to appreciate
yeah,
the blue.
yeah, so to harken back to a natural state almost, and
Mhm.
that's how he could figure out that, which is also an interesting thing.
So, some of the quotes that I wrote down, he talked about how the pool was all I knew, all I needed to know. And then another quote is he talked about unmaking myself. This is part of his final speech. So, unmaking
Yeah,
myself, the simple pleasure from execution of a task well done. And then he finishes it off with I'm going home. The I'm going home to me was a really good place to end it on, and it just sort of circles back to everything that we've been talking about. Do you have any other thoughts? Well, this has been our first segment. So, anything else you want to say?
as I've thought about it, I realized how more Buddhist it is almost. A very bringing it back down to essentials in some ways, but I really like it, and the art style is absolutely beautiful. The person who did the art, which I think is also did I play Apex Legends, and I remember after watching Zima Blue realizing that the cinematics for Seer was very similar, and I'm pretty sure it is the exact same guy too. So that's pretty cool that he's getting more work than just this. And you said with Volume 2 being also him, I think I really like his art style, and I really, really like it to see it in more stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see an entire like feature film length.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
That's all I have to. Bye.